This is without a doubt one of the strangest seasons I think I've ever covered for Brooklyn. And again, we're on season number, is this 5 or 6 for me covering the Nets? I'm losing count at this point. But this is just a very, very strange season from the standpoint of, like, am I supposed to care if we lose? Or am I just supposed to just, it's such a weird place to be in. It's hard to describe it. So basically, we went out there and we played the Celtics, and Ben Simmons didn't play. And Ben Simmons didn't play because of what's being described as, I can't remember the word. They said like mechanics or some crap. It's load management. It was a back-to-back, and they just want to, no pun intended, it was a back-to-back, and they just want to make sure that Ben Simmons is, okay. For me, 5 games in, if we're already load managing Ben, that's a red flag to me. But, I understand it's early in the season. There's plenty of games to be played. The thing that frustrates me is, why can't we do this against a team that's trash, right? Why can't we do this against a team that we don't need him for? Against the Celtics, the game was pretty competitive for a majority of the game. We only really lost control towards the end of the fourth quarter. We were keeping it. Like, it was like 1-point game at one point. Jason Tatum hits a 3 or whatever, but we're like still in it, right? It was like, 5 points, 10 points, 5 points, 10 points, all through the fourth quarter. We were just one run away, really a couple defensive stops away from making it a little bit more competitive. And I would venture to say that if Ben Simmons was out there, that would have helped significantly, because again, we don't have that much size on the team. So if you got Drew Holiday bullying every guard we have in the paint, it's just, I would just like to see Drew Holiday do that against Ben Simmons, right? I would like to see Porzingis get these little like soft touch baskets off with Ben Simmons in the paint, right? Obviously, if Claxton was out there, this would be a completely different story, but still, specifically Ben Simmons, I would like to see him out there putting the clamps on Tatum. I would like to see him out there putting the clamps on Brown or something like that, or having like a significant closeout on Al Horford or something of that nature, right? I would have liked to see that. Like, do that kind of stuff to Ben Simmons, and we'll see what happens. The fact that I have that much faith in him defensively shows how far he's come, but it's just like, I really feel like if he's out there, this game is significantly more competitive, and we might even win. I'm going to be honest with you. We might even win. With how competitive it was towards the middle of the game, we might mess around and win that. I'm going to be honest with you. But again, it's that weird period of time where it's like, am I supposed to care because it's so early in the season? Am I supposed to care because we have no real expectations? Or am I supposed to be frustrated? Because they lost, I'm choosing to critique. That's all I'm going to do, just simply from the standpoint that they lost. Not because I'm significantly invested 5 games in, but just because they lost a game. We're coming off a 3-game win streak. I'm just going to have a couple critiques. I think for the times where Ben Simmons is either hurt or doing load, because that's what it is. It's load management. Regardless of what you want to say, it's load management. When that happens, it is so obvious that the Nets are lacking another playmaker. It's disturbing. Now, I think in the past I've said things like we need another point guard, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to what it is that I'm asking for, right? I've been noticing that a lot in my life. I will say general things, but it's not like the specific thing of what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to like improve that and say specifically what I want, right? Like, I don't need to say like, oh, I want an open world game, right? And you hand me a Breath of the Wild or something like that. No. I just mean like I need a game that I like that gives me the freedom to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Like, just a poor example, but the point is, instead of me just saying we need another point guard, it's or we need a better point guard, it's specifically we need another playmaker, right? Because you got Dennis Smith Jr., right? Shout out to Dennis. That's my guy, right? We got Dennis Smith Jr. Technically, Cam is a point guard, sort of. We kind of force him to be. He's more of a shooting guard, but because of his height, we just assume he's a point guard, right? You got Spencer Dinwiddie, who is our starting point guard when Ben Simmons isn't out there, which, again, is he a shooting guard? No, the lines get kind of blurred. nowadays or whatever. And then you have individuals who are capable of handling the ball. Like you've got Lonnie Walker. There are multiple times where we see, it's very strange, but Royce O'Neal is running point. Like, again, so we have people who are capable of dribbling the ball and moving around. But what we need is another playmaker. And I think that is significantly lacking. Like, significantly lacking. Jacques Vaughn's offense, which I can't believe I am giving him any form of credit. I cannot believe this turnaround I'm making here. But Jacques Vaughn's offensive philosophy of don't draw a play and look for actions through screens it seems to be working. I mean, I thought he was full of crap, but, you know, it seems to be doing something. So, you know, I'll take the L. I was wrong on that. But the main engine behind that, the main thing that makes it go, is having a solid playmaker to be able to see the options. The times where Cam Thomas is dribbling the air out of the ball, that's normally when Ben Simmons has the ball and is trying to fit, like, starting the actions, right? It's almost like how the triangle is just like a bunch of options. Like, you just bring the ball down the court, dump it into the post, folks just start rotating and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then you just find the best look. That's what Jacques Vaughn's little don't draw plays motion offense thing is, right? And without Ben Simmons to initiate the first option, you've got a bunch of role players who are just trying to replicate it. And shout out to the role players, but it's like you need a real playmaker out there. That's kind of why, and again, maybe this is a better way to explain why I like James Harden so much for our team. Harden was a playmaker with us. This is not the hard jersey. This is Karras. Well, Karras is another great example. Karras was he was a playmaker. Now, he would go to Caris LeVert offensive island and he would just never come back. But aside from his little ISO island thing, he was a playmaker. So when he's out there, he's able to initiate whatever it is that we're running. Spencer Dinwiddie is not a playmaker. I know he thinks he is, but he is not a playmaker. Right? Sorry. Cam Thomas is not a playmaker. I don't think anyone is even going to debate that. He's not a playmaker. Maybe Jacques Vaughn wants him to be someday, but that's not who he is, right? That's Devin Booker, right? Like that's what that, you know what I mean? You can't expect him to, you know, right? Dennis Smith Jr. is not a playmaker. He plays great defense. He might occasionally hit a three, and if it's required of him, he might run in and make a cool layup. I don't think he's dunked once this season, but we haven't had that many fast breaks where he's leading the charge a little bit, but that's not here nor there. But he is not a playmaker. He has the ability to, you know, look for people here and there, but he is not a playmaker, right? Royce O'Neal is a small forward. Not that small forwards can't be playmakers, but like that's, no. Like, look at the Warriors, right? They run I'm not going to claim to know what their offensive schemes are, but I'm assuming, you know, everyone's copying the Spurs, which turned into the Warriors thing, which turns into what everyone else is doing. I'm not quite sure. I don't really study other teams like that. I studied the Rockets for a minute during the pandemic, but that's not here or there. Anyway, wow, where was I going with that? Give me 1 second. Where was I going with that? Okay, Golden State, right? You've got Curry, right, who is a playmaker. I mean, he shoots a lot, but, you know, he's a playmaker. He's an amazing point guard, right? But then you also have Draymond Green, who can bring the ball up the court so Steph can go off ball. And then they'll just go back and forth, so you don't really know who to cover. You don't know who to trap, because if you try to trap Draymond, give it to Steph. You try to trap Steph, give it to Draymond, and they can set their shenanigans up, right? That's what makes that little, you know, tag team so impressive. That's why they tolerate that man punching youth in the face, because he's another playmaker, right? And I feel like that is what the Nets need. So when Ben Simmons is either not on the floor, or if he's load management, or if he's injured or whatever, someone else needs to be controlling the offense, and that has not been replaced. That's what made me so excited about Ben Simmons in the first place. It wasn't the scoring, it wasn't the defense, it was the playmaking. I think I'm like just now being able to articulate this, and my bad. But yes, that is what excites me about players like Ben Simmons, or James Harden, or Karras Karis LeVert. And when we lose people like that, I'm like, well, what are we going to do now? I think I keep saying point guard or like better point guard, but I mean playmaker. I don't care the size of the individual. I just need someone that can play make. Wow. 2 years and I finally figured out how to put that into words. My bad, y'all. Y'all probably just been thinking I've been insane this whole time. Yes, playmaker. That's what I've been looking at. Because look at the Nuggets, right? You got Jokic. He's a center, but he's a playmaker. You know what I mean? That's what makes Trey so great. You know, wow, that's just so great that I can articulate this now. Okay, so what I feel like we need when there is no Ben Simmons or he's on the bench or something like that, is you need another playmaker to assist in the balance of the team. Everything else is checked. I even think the idea of small ball is perfectly fine. Anyone who has, followed me on my main channel or anywhere else I have ever been, you know that, during lockdown or whatever, I was studying Mike D'Antoni's like small ball thing where they, got rid of Clint Capella and they had PJ Tucker as a center. Like, him and who's that other dude? Robert Covington, I think. Just the idea of hustle and effort is enough to, rotate around and switch and just do good team defense and the gang rebounding and stuff like that. So I think small ball is possible. I am a believer of that. I do believe in positionless basketball, though I think it is a little bit of a cliche at this point, and I think some people don't understand what that means, but I do believe in that type of stuff, right? So I'm not like super duper on the whole thing of, oh, we still haven't found a center. I'm kind of off that. We'll be fine. You got, Finney, Roy, we'll be fine. Even Day'Ron Sharpe has been playing better. Like, we will be fine in that department. I'm not super concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is the lack of playmaking when Ben Simmons isn't out there, because I think we're not able to efficiently run whatever Jacques Vaughn is trying to do without another playmaker. Now, what I think we can do to acquire one is take Cam Johnson, because he has value and we don't really need him, as y'all can see, but shout out to him. I know we just gave him a contract, we just gave him max contract, okay, who cares, right? Take him whenever it is legally possible and package him for something else. Go get you a playmaker, maybe another backup center or something like that. You know what I mean? Or more wings. Who cares, right? And go get a playmaker. Or, you can cut one of these other bums who's just chilling on the team, not really doing nothing. And I'm not going to say names because I don't want the controversy to start already 5 games in. 7-man young, 7-man don't call people bums until Thanksgiving. Y'all know how it goes. I've got some opinions on some individuals that I will not let rip no Beyblade until Thanksgiving. Y'all know how it goes around here. If I think you're a bum, I won't say it till Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you a chance. but that's not the end of there. But I think there are some bums on the team that are not really pulling their weight, that can be shed, and then go get Elfrid Payton. I know I am always hitting the Elfrid Payton button, but go get Elfrid Payton, right? He plays defense and he moves the ball. He's a playmaker, right? Just do it, right? Just do it. He's right there. Just go get Elfie, right? Or someone of that ilk who is wasting away on someone's bench or whatever that they don't understand, right? Go grab you someone that can play defense, maybe a little tall, a little long, you know what I mean? And is a playmaker. Go acquire that. Have him out there. Have him have significant minutes or something like that. Just go for it. Because there are a couple bums on this team that are not really doing anything, but I can't say their name yet because it's not Thanksgiving yet. Go get a playmaker. The situation is handled. Now there's not that weird lull in the offense where our playmaker goes on the bench and now nobody can score, right? Now, nobody can get into any sets or anything like that. And I think that is going to help individuals like a Mikal Bridges, who, I will scream this until the end of time, is such a role player. It's disgusting. Like, the magnificent disappearing man strikes again. Was he like 1 for 24 going into the fourth quarter? Where is he at? Like, Cam is going Thomas is going head to head with friggin' Jason Tatum. Where is Mikal Bridges? But again, if you've got a playmaker out there who is able to get him shots within Jacques Vaughn's weird no play drawn offense joint, he'll be able to get easier shots instead of just, he's, give him the ball at the 3-point line. He dribbles into the mid-range, either pump fake into a weird shot, or he tries to do the turn fadeaway Dirk shot that he hasn't perfected yet, but he's still trying to get off or whatever. Just get him easier shots. He'll be fine. He can't go to ISO Island like Cam Thomas or something like that. That's just not the kind of player he is. Now, there are times where he can come down the court, hit the pull-up three, but just off the ISO dribble packet, that's not him, right? That's more so for a Spencer Dinwiddie. That's obviously a Cam Thomas and stuff like that. Occasionally, you'll see it from a Dennis Smith Jr., but just even the idea of having him be a spot-up three-point shooter where it's just the catch-and-shoot type stuff, Finney, which shout out to Dorian Finney-Smith. My God, is he playing amazing, both defensively and offensively. I owe him 25 apologies. He's not on the bum list, trust me. Royce O'Neal, if he's able to hit a shot, because my God, he was 3 for 45 last night, but that's not even there. Of that ilk. And the reason is because there's this weird bulletin, on everyone's bulletin board for the other 29 teams, it's yo, blitz Mikal every time he touches the ball. And if you do not have someone out there, specifically someone who can attack the paint to make the defense collapse, where you take them seriously as a threat, Mikal is going to continue to get blitzed. And he's not, he's 28, you know what I mean? He's my age, this is his cap. Mikal's not getting any better than that. This is prime Mikal Bridges. With Cam and stuff, he's only going to get better. This is the best we're getting from Mikal. So it's if he's showing you, yo, he's not that guy, he's just cool, I don't think we can continue to rely on him in that kind of way. And I think even the criticisms of me calling him the magnificent disappearing man is not fair to him because he's a role player. And while I think that's good for this team, if you don't have a playmaker out there, people like Mikal get exposed. So maybe that's the point of this video. Maybe that's the point of this rant. Maybe that's the point of my general feelings for the team. When they were talking about in media day that this team will go as far as basically as Ben Simmons is going to take it, I believe them. I think I understand what they mean. Because what Jacques Vaughn is trying to achieve, you need multiple play. And again, this is the fourth video in the row I brought off the Hawks. I know y'all hate it, but it's almost the two teams are almost identical. When you've got Trey and DeJounte Murray out there, right? When one of them goes to the bench, the team is still being run by a playmaker. They're still able to, and I feel like these two teams are trying to do the same thing, even though Quimby drawing plays, but that's not here or there. I think, in theory, they're trying to run the same thing. And it's just when Ben Simmons isn't out there, we keep doing this pretend game of, positionless basketball is this catch-all term of Dorian or Lonnie Walker or Royce O'Neal can bring the ball up the court and initiate this offense. In theory, can they literally bring the ball up the court and start the offense? Yes, but are they going to do it right? Can they literally do it? Yes, but are they going to do it in a way that is more efficient for Jacques' offense? No, and you need a second playmaker. Maybe that second playmaker is Cam Johnson, and I'm just not aware of his game. To my knowledge, it is not. But maybe that second playmaker is Cam Johnson. Maybe when he comes back, this all gets solved and handled. I don't know. Probably not. but I don't know. I'm here to be wrong. It is a rarity, but I am here to be wrong. Hey, I was wrong about Jacques Vaughn, so, you know, maybe that's the secret component that we just don't have right now. I don't know. There's just got to be a second playmaker out there. And if he's on our bench and we drafted him and I just don't know it, somebody let me know in the comments. That's not here or there. Let me know your thoughts down below. I didn't think I was going to go this in-depth on game number 5, but I'm just excited at the fact that I can articulate what it is I've been trying to say for like a month. So, yay me on that. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm SeverTheBond. You are here on Next Republic. I got to find the other one because this is still the Liberty colors. I just kind of like this sign better than the other one. I know I'm supposed to change it, but I like the seafoam green. I ain't going to lie to y'all. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. 7-man, young 7-man, the youngest of the 7-man, the greatest there's ever been. Yeah.